If you develop these three skills in yourself, you will dominate everyone else for the long term. In some ways, I believe it is becoming easier and easier than ever to stand out amongst most people, other business owners. So let me tell you what the three things are. Number one, developing yourself as a CEO. What's a CEO supposed to do? A CEO is supposed to cast a vision. This is where we're going as an organization. This is how we're going to get there. They then have to build the team of people to execute that vision, to go get it. Who do you need on the team to make that thing, that vision real? And then they have to figure out how to pay for it. That's roughly what your job is as a CEO. Now, in the early days, it's not quite that simple. You've got to actually do the work in the field and save up some money so you can hire your first person to help you, and then eventually a few people, and then eventually a manager. And it's slow going for a while. But eventually, where you have to get to is live in a world almost exclusively of what I described. Where is the world going? What is the opportunity? What is the trend we can jump on? What is the business model and what is the strategy? I'll call all that vision. And then you've got to build the team of people that can make that thing real. It's not your job to do all that. You build the team of people to go do that. And then you figure out how to pay for it. The business model is a large way, to a large degree, how you pay for it. Like, what is the strategy of the business? How are we going to be more profitable than our competitors? How are we going to speed up our cash flow as compared to our competitors? What are all those things we're going to have to do? Do I have to get debt? Do I need to raise capital? What do I got to do? That's the idea. That's what a CEO does. And you need to get there as fast as you can. And you need to get very good at that stuff. Just the people part is really hard. It's the hiring, it's the firing, it's the coaching, it's the teaching, it's the mentoring, it's all that. It's hard. And you want to get really good at all that stuff. And most people aren't really doing that. They're really not. They're not growing their businesses big enough in the first place to ever get there. And then they're just not really thinking about those things. They're not thinking about what is my real job and how do I get really good at it. The second thing I believe that allows you to dominate everyone else, simplification and focus. Simplification to me is largely defined by your business model. We do X. We don't do Y. We don't do Z. We do X. One day when we build a big business around X, we will add Y. And then we will build a big business around that, and then we will add Z. But that's the idea. But this doing everything, you see it all the time. Business owners love the next new thing, the next shiny object. It's fun. As soon as we get bored, like, oh, what new thing could we do? We all do it. It's way more fun than just the daily grind of making everything a little bit better every single day and compounding our returns. That's not so fun. New stuff, that's fun. And so we're constantly starting a new LLC with a new business and a new division and a new whatever. It's always something new. That's not simplification and that's not focus. Simplification and focus equals speed. Speed wins. Also, simplification and focus equal higher margins. It's easier to manage. It's easier to optimize. It's easier to be better than everybody else because you get incredibly good at that thing. That leads to better margins. Focus, simplification. That's where the money's at. It's where the speed is at. Not sure why you can't grow very fast. Probably serving too big a geographic area, probably providing too many kinds of services, probably have too many different kinds of trucks, too many different kinds of equipment. We work on too many different kinds of equipment. We serve too many different types of clients. We work at too many different kinds of properties of too many different kinds of sizes, on and on and on. That, everything I just said, is complexity. That's not simplification. It's sure as hell not focus. It's complicated. It drives down profits. It means you go slower. It means you have less money. Remember, the third thing you're supposed to do is figure out how to make a lot of money, bring in the capital, pay for everything. You make less money, you grow slower because you have less money to invest in the business. The other thing, when I think about simplification and focus, this is kind of also being the CEO, is within this, let's call it focus, we do this thing. And your job and your management's job is to push back and say, can we make this thing more and more simple? Can we do it in a more and more simple way? Can we get waste out of the system? Can we get steps out of the process? That's optimization. But you're also there to push back, pay a lot of attention, push back on what is bad quality, what is bad customer service. because bad quality and bad customer service add complexity to the business. They kill a reputation. It's just another example of like when I talk about what to focus on, you don't lose sight as the CEO as the thing gets bigger when it comes to quality and service, because that is your IP. If you're a software company, your IP is your technology. If you're a service company, your IP is the delivery of the thing. It's not really IP, but as an example, or better said, your product. Your product is the business, and so the quality and service are everything. And you see a lot of companies, they get distracted with lots of complexity and lots of different moving parts. And what happens? Quality slips, service slips, reputation slips, business over time slips. Third item, massive action. Like just hardcore, all in, figure it out, work the hours, hire the people, do the time. It's not always fun. Everyone thinks they're hustling. And I'm not a Gary V hustle guy. I mean, it's not my thing. But I do really believe in massive action and really hard work and doing the time. That's how you get where you want to go fast. Like, why does it need to take 20 years? Like, could we do it faster? And some people, your personality is you don't care. That's cool. My personality is not. I want it to go a little bit faster. I have a vision. Like, I want this thing. I don't want it in 20 years. I'd like to get it now. I am long-term focused. I've always been long-term focused, but I don't need to be slow about getting to the long-term goal. And maybe more what I'm referring to here is we live in a world of just unbelievable distraction. And I think people are unbelievably unproductive. They're so distracted with social media, so distracted with everything going on in the world, on the news, in their families. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a family. I'm not saying you shouldn't be involved in your family. I think that's kind of critically important. But we just find 90,000 different ways to be distracted. And we think we're working really hard. But when we add up the hours, like, I thought I'm working like 70 hours a week and I'm really working 40 something because I'm not really that productive. And that means your teams that are clocking in and out for 42 hours a week, they're kind of working like 31, really. People are not that productive. Massive action is what moves the ball forward. People are highly distracted. We can all go faster. Making a lot of profit in a business is just not a natural thing. It's just not easy to make a lot of profit. The way you make a lot of profit is by intentionally keeping your foot on the gas and being hardcore about managing the business and who's on the team and who's not. Going fast and growing fast, not natural. It's just not easy, and it only gets harder as the thing gets bigger. So you got to push and push and push to get speed and to get profit. And that requires, in my opinion, massive action from both you and the team. So those are the three things. You've got to build yourself as a first-class CEO, and that might mean you should get coaching. You need to be hardcore about saying to the organization, no, we're not doing that. We're only doing this. No. We're staying very focused on this. This is the 1 or 2 or 3 things we're working on this quarter. Very, very focused. You got to push back. It's natural to let quality and service come down as the business gets big and you're up here managing things. It's easy to forget about that stuff. You got to push on those things. And then as an organization, as a culture, do we take massive action? Do we go fast? Are we really working? Or are we all just telling ourselves a feel-good story about how hard we work? And if you do those 3 things, you'll win. You'll dominate. You'll get what you want in time. No question about it.